Alex, welcome to Cat on the Loose.
Thank you for having me.
It's a huge pleasure, and I have to say, and we're going to explain what's going on, but I've had such a fun week with you.
So much fun. Too much fun. I'm a little tired.
So much fun that you brought your wine here, which
Yes.
I am madly in love with, but because it's Friday, we were like, oh, let's do like a happy hour episode, but we were both a little hungover, so we're like, maybe not right now.
Literally. I'm like, I'm still recovering from all the champagne last night.
Same. But before we start the episode, I want to say congratulations on all your fabulous work. The wine is poetry in a bottle. I'm going to shameless plug it because first, I love the name.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a sucker for great wine. And you did it all by yourself.
I did.
What an entrepreneur you are.
Thank you. Well, look, coming from you, that means so much.
I would love to have my own wine, but I would not even know how to start. So I'm very impressed,
Thank
impressed.
you.
And the name is super adorable.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And the paper that you started, you are an award-winning writer, like I told everybody before. And I'm in love with your paper as well, Love Sex LA.
Thank you. Yeah.
Not only you did it digitally, but you actually printed the paper, which is very impressive these days.
I know, it's very old school, right?
It's very
We're
old
bringing
school.
it back.
We're bringing it back. I love vintage. I love
too.
old school. So congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
So let's explain to people what's going on. When we met, I said, I love this chick.
Yeah.
She writes really well. She's writing Love, Sex, LA about dating. I got to do an episode with her. But then we decided before we do the episode, let's go all over Beverly Hills because we both live in Beverly Hills. And let's see how the dating scene is out there.
Yeah.
And
what an experiment, huh?
What an experiment. It's been a little crazy fun. So on Monday, we decided, because it was one of the NBA final games. So that's how little I go out.
And I don't watch sports. So.
You don't watch sports, but I thought Monday I called you and I'm like, Alex, it's the NBA finals. Let's go to the busiest sports bar in Beverly Hills. And it's going to be packed with guys.
Oh my gosh. It was like
It was
a bus.
dead. It was
bust.
dead. So we get there and you were so game for it. You were
Yeah.
like, okay, it's Monday night. Let's go.
Yeah.
But we show up there and the bar was like crickets.
Crickets.
So we didn't talk to anybody there, right? There was nothing going on. Then from there, we decided to go to Wally's, which is also one of the top bars, happy hours in Beverly Hills. I did do like a really famous episode called The Plunger like a couple of years ago at Wally's. So we get in there. It was very chill. But there was a crazy asshole sitting at
Oh
the
my
bar.
gosh.
Let's start by talking about him for a minute.
The lawyer.
And he was like, he didn't let us film him. He didn't let us record his answers. And he was like, you girls are going to talk about me on the podcast.
Oh, we're going to talk about you.
We're going to talk about you.
you.
I know.
Well, I have a theory, too. If a guy doesn't want to be filmed like that or, like, followed on social media, I feel like they have a girlfriend or something they don't want, you know?
There is, this is what I feel. I feel they're either going to do something shady or they're going to say something really bad. Because I remember this guy said to me, oh, everybody's going to recognize my voice. If I let you.
He said that?
Yeah, because I was like, let me record you. Because your answer, what you're saying to me is so absurd. And he was like, no, people are going to recognize my voice. Because he is a very successful attorney in the area. And he was like, no, people are going to recognize my voice. And I think if you were saying something amazing or that you're proud of, why would you care?
Well, exactly. Because for me, I wouldn't care talking about really anything or being, recorded because...
Right.
Nothing to hide.
That's like a lot of guys always say that to me. Are you going to talk about me on the podcast? And my answer is this. If you do something amazing and if you're a nice guy, you have nothing to worry about. If you do something really, really shitty and crappy and douchey, very likely you're going to become an episode. And even worse, if you're insignificant, we're going to forget about it. We're never going to talk about it.
Well, and here's the thing. As journalists and writers, it's our job to describe you and share it with the world, right?
I love you. Exactly.
It's our job. It's our duty.
Yes, it's our duty. So there you go. Anyhow, so this guy... He tells me he's a successful attorney. He has a daughter, not an ex-wife, with a baby mama. And then he shows me pictures of baby mama. She's like this gorgeous supermodel-looking person.
Yeah.
And then he starts telling me that they never got married, la, 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 la. And then he asks about me, and I said, yeah, I've been married, no kids. And then he was like, what do you mean no kids? I said, yeah, I never wanted to have kids. It didn't happen for me, whatever. And then he had the balls to say to me, I think this was one of the most outrageous things I ever heard a guy say. He was like, oh, then you're never going to be in a relationship, because the only reason why any man would stay in a long-term relationship with someone is if they have a kid together.
But he has a kid and he's not in a relationship.
Exactly. He was like, no guy is going to stay with you girls. And then he was like, by the way, I never heard women before ever that said they don't want to have kids.
Well, after meeting him, I'm like, I definitely like don't want to have kids with someone like that. I'll tell you that right now.
But it's not unusual. There are a
No.
lot of women that don't want to have kids.
Right.
As a personal choice.
Yeah, for sure. And like that's the whole thing, is it shouldn't matter. You know what I mean? I mean, if that's why you stay with someone is because you have a kid with them,
Right.
you need to reevaluate everything.
I agree. And, I honestly think nowadays it's not reason enough for most men. Like if you get a guy pregnant, if they don't like you, if they don't love you, a lot of guys are not, they don't stay with a person because the kid, such as in his case, by the way. Mr. Douche, right? He was not married to
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. Why aren't you with the baby mama? And he was like,
But he couldn't come up with an answer.
Exactly.
I feel like he was like flirting with you though. Like that was his way
No,
of flirting
he
in a
was
way.
not. He kept saying like, oh, look at my baby mama's photo. Look how gorgeous she is. She's like 6 foot, whatever. And oh, look at this chick that I'm dating from Paraguay. Look, she's like, looks like a model. She was like totally showing off. No, we were not doing like flirty. I was literally grilling him and asking him questions because he was so freaking outrageous.
Outrageous. He was very chaotic.
Yeah, he was very chaotic. And the guy that was talking to you on your side was a weirdo.
I think he was very inebriated. I think he was very drunk.
You're so polite, inebriated.
I think he was drunk. He was sitting there telling me that he was an actor from a bunch of like old like cult type films from a while ago, like maybe the 80s and 90s.
Did you get his name? We should.
Yes, I did.
Google him.
But I forget what it is. I feel like it might be in my phone though, because
let's Google him and see if it's true.
Yeah.
But he was like, "I'm gonna take you to the movies."
I know.
And then he told you he lived in Burbank.
I know. And I'm like, well, that goes into our whole thing about geography we were talking about, because. And it's funny, I was talking to someone else today about this, and like some other friends of mine about
local geography or a USA. We're going to explain to you guys because it's a very important conversation.
Yeah. I feel like we were talking about, you and I were originally talking about geography in terms of like people, how they feel about dating in LA versus other locations.
Yes.
And I was talking to some people about it too, and I feel like it was kind of mixed reviews. Like there's people like you who are like, if you just want to have fun and don't take it like super seriously and put out a negative energy towards it, you're gonna, have things come back to you that are receive things that are not super negative, you know what I mean? And like have okay or good experiences, right?
Yeah.
But I was talking to someone who was originally from here, but they live between New York and Miami now. And he said Miami's the worst place to date.
That's what everybody's saying. Yeah.
But he liked New York. He said New York was the best place.
But he's a guy.
He's a guy.
So, so let's talk about the geography situation for a while. Because a few days ago it was in the news that Miami was voted the worst. I mean, I lived in Miami and I agree. Miami's a shit show in terms of dating.
Yeah.
But it literally was in the news that it's the worst place, like all of Florida, it's the worst place to date in the United States. And then the LA girls, I saw a bunch of them, including like a super famous matchmaker who I had on the show before. She was like, no, LA is the worst. Everybody's so superficial and all the actors. And then the New York girls, I even have a friend in New York that wants to get married. They say that there are not enough guys there and, it's too many women for not enough guys. So I feel that's why I was saying to you, if you decide, no matter where you are, if you decide that it's going to be shitty, I really believe that it becomes your reality.
But that's like with everything in life, right? Like career, relationships, anything kind of goes like that.
Yes.
Whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back.
That's how I feel. So these girls, I think if you're a pessimist, like as much as you want to be in a great relationship, right? I know dating can be tedious and it can be tough and all this crap, but it's part of the process. So you have two ways to look at it. Like you said, you can even enjoy it and have fun in the process and really enjoy your life in the meantime. Or like a lot of these women do, they're like, oh my God, I'm never going to find the man of my dreams. It's competition. What am I going to do to get the guy if he they just put this negativity towards it. And I really feel the guys feel that vibe.
The pressure.
The pressure.
I don't like pressure, so.
I don't like pressure either.
Now, do you think it's also because you're someone that does not want to have kids? Do you think a lot of people have deadlines for themselves? Like women have a deadline because of a biological clock, or they have a certain age they want to be married by. Is that, do you think, why the
Probably
pressure?
right. I think, yes, I think a lot of girls in their 30s, in their late 20s, they want to have a family.
Yeah.
And I know a person like that. I'm not
Yeah.
even going to say who it is, but she's like, I want to get married and have kids, period. Okay, I completely understand that. But you cannot skip all the steps of the ladder. Like you cannot say, hi, nice to meet you. I want to get married and have kids. Because even if the guy wants the same, they're going to be like, whoa. You cannot skip the process of getting to know the person and dating and enjoying and falling in love and, deciding that you're going to build a life together.
Yeah. And you don't want to do it with the wrong person.
Exactly.
Because if you force something with the wrong person,
You're probably going to backfire.
backfire.
And I do see girls like that a lot,
Yeah.
rushing it. And I think, for each their own. Who the hell am I to give anybody opinions about dating? Because obviously I'm still single. I was in a shitty marriage for a long time. We're doing the podcast, try to learn, how to date smarter.
Yeah.
But I'm not in a relationship yet. But I definitely don't think I would rush marriage. Like I didn't rush it the first time, but I don't think I would ever rush marriage. Like in my case, I would really enjoy the process when I meet the right person.
Yeah. Would you ever get married again?
Yeah. So we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do like married on paper, like sign the piece of paper.
Right.
Because I do believe it. Especially, I interviewed Christina Royce. She's one of the top divorce attorneys in the United States. She divorced several famous celebrities, including Channing Tatum, Elizabeth Banks, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. You guys should listen to the episode before you get married. And like she said, like she was saying, it's a business transaction.
Yeah.
You're literally signing a document and you need to know what you're signing. So obviously when we're in love, we don't want to think about that. We want to think, but I love him and I want to go on a honeymoon and all this stuff. But you need to do your homework and decide if it's for you or not.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if I want to go through that process again. I mean, I'm not going to say never, but
Right.
I would live together
Yeah.
if I was madly in love.
Yeah. It's hard. I feel like it's hard these days too, because look at even just talking about dating, we feel like people are struggling to date. Marriage is like a whole nother level, right?
Marriage is a whole nother level of commitment. And what I love about you is that you're so accomplished, you're still so young, but you're not like desperate to get married. You're taking your time. And I think that's a much better vibe. Regardless of in whatever age you are, I think that's the vibe you should approach the dating game.
Totally.
I think you have smaller chances of being burned in the future.
I think so too.
If you do that.
Yeah.
Now, backtracking because we started talking about the guy from Burbank, and I know we're going to get a lot of backlash from this one, but we got to talk about it. We talked about, geography, like United States geography, and my opinion is I don't think it has anything to do with geography. I think it has to do with your mindset, but let's talk about local geography. Because to me, we both live in Beverly Hills. And even if you guys don't live in Beverly Hills, I believe most markets in the world have the same issue. For example, living in Manhattan is not the same thing as living in Long Beach or New Jersey.
Yeah.
Or living in Miami Beach is not the same thing as living in Hialeah or Doral. It's two completely different universes. And you and I live in Beverly Hills. I admit I am very, very jaded, to use a nice word, when it comes to dating somebody in certain areas of the greater Los Angeles area, because I don't want a long distance because LA is huge.
It is huge. And I was talking to someone the other day, and they were talking about how it's just like the driving situation can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
It could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
And like, especially we all know like certain times of the day traffic in LA.
It's
it
awful.
Sucks.
Yeah. So like the guy that you were talking to at the bar, I don't think he was your type of guy anyhow. But to me, like if I'm just meeting someone and he's like, I live in Burbank, I live in the Valley, I live in like Orange County.
Orange County, that's far.
Orange. It's just really, really far, and I don't want to be too bougie about it because, people are like, oh, you live in Beverly Hills. You're like a bougie. I'm not a bougie person in general. I think I'm very down to earth. But I would love to meet a guy like within like 2 or 3 miles.
I know, right? Even 2 miles at certain times of the day is like could take an hour.
You're worse than me.
It's so bad. It could be really a nightmare.
Well, this was here. For example, we are here in West Hollywood, the studio.
Yeah.
And we live in Beverly Hills. This was alone today, a 20-minute drive.
It kept going up on when I put it in my maps or whatever. The time kept going up, and I'm like, what is going on, and why did it take me this way?
But I would date a guy in West Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty close. That's like in the bubble.
Yeah, God's honest truth. I don't think I would date a guy in the Valley unless everything else was fantastic about this guy.
Like he was the full package. He was worth the drive.
Yeah. Then I would ask him, are you open-minded to move if we really fall in love?
Yeah, though that's a good question.
Because if he told me, no, I'm dead set in retiring in the Valley, that would be a no-go for me.
You're a Beverly Hills girl. What's the farthest you've ever, like, who like, location-wise, a guy that you've dated that's, like, not within your little bubble?
Yeah,
like,
so my ex-boyfriend lived in the Valley.
Oh.
And we always joke that... I told you the joke, like, for, I don't know if people that they're not going to relate it if they're not in this area, but like when you go into the valley, right, we go through the canyon and you go up and up and up the canyon.
Yeah, the Mulholland.
The Mulholland is like the flat line there. And then you start going down the valley. And I used to always joke with him like, oh my God, I got to go to your place. Hold on. Let me see if I find my passport because that's the border. To cross to the valley. And yeah, he made fun of it as well.
Yeah.
But he was dead set. He's happy there.
Yeah.
He's like, I like it. I don't mind it. It's very central to go everywhere. So that became a problem for us.
Yeah.
And other reasons, of course. But it was an issue. It was annoying.
Yeah, like the location becomes an issue probably when there's other issues, but like it doesn't help because LA's so big.
Yeah.
It's got like all these little pockets of
So let's talk
areas.
about your first issue of your newspaper.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of the same situation. You put out a story of this guy that you were dating. And I said that to you last night. I think it was very brave of you, by the way. Because one thing is when we go through this dating shit show, but another thing is like opening up, like and saying, yeah, this really sucked.
Yeah, it's very vulnerable.
Very vulnerable. So when I was reading it, I was very impressed. Like, wow, it's amazing that she's sharing her story because, of course, everybody relates, but very few people have the balls to put it out there.
Thank you.
So let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah,
since it's out there, anyways.
Yeah, right?
The first issue of Love, Sex, LA.
Yeah. You
met this guy on Raya.
On Raya. Freaking Raya.
I do not like Raya. I think there's like so many douche lords there.
It's like very interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic of people on there. It's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
And it's a
I never
wide
hit.
spectrum.
I never met.
You're like, it's always a miss.
Because the few guys that I met on Raya, I think they're so full of themselves or like the entertainment industry. I don't know. I don't think
or they're faking it.
Yes, they're faking it. And I don't think I want to date anybody in that because it's my industry. So I don't want to have, I don't know. I was
And you're
never
kind of like an artist.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's hard for two artists or two people in that same business to date for sure.
So, but you met this dude on Raya.
Yeah.
Okay, so you tell me.
So we meet on Raya, and okay, you read the article.
I read the article.
You read the article. You read the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we start seeing each other. Well, actually, it kind of started. I wasn't really into him at all at first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that part.
Yeah, I think I put it in there maybe, but I wasn't really into him, and actually, kind of like he got on my nerves a little bit. He kind of annoyed me. It was one of those. It was like an enemies to lovers.
So
type
what
trope.
changed?
I don't know what it was. I think I became like very comfortable with him because I looked at him as just like a friend. And we ended up going out though. I enjoyed his company. I really liked him. And, someone coming from like a big, close Armenian family, like he was about the family thing. I loved that. But then I didn't hear from him.
Oh, okay, wait. So how many dates did you guys go on?
I forget.
A bunch?
Like it was a few before this happened. Then I didn't hear from him.
Did you have sex?
No.
Oh, okay, so you were just making out.
Yeah. And
he disappeared.
He disappeared.
Okay.
Disappeared. And I knew he was divorced.
So he told you he was divorced?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I hadn't heard from him. And then I saw on Instagram, I see a video, and he's got his wedding ring back on his finger.
That must have hurt. Your sister is behind the scenes and she's like rolling her eyes. That's painful. I would have died. Yeah.
It was painful. But
what an a-hole. I hope you're listening, whoever the hell your name is. I really hope you're listening. She's doing so much better without you. She deserves so much better. You are like a bleep in her life.
Well, I have a poet's heart. I do. I have a poet's heart. So the problem was when they broke up again, we ended up hanging out again. I know.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. I wish I could say that, no, I told him no, I was strong. But no, I was like, had this like moment of very like human weakness where I was like, I felt something.
But did he tell? Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Because he had his wedding ring on. So he was back with the ex-wife.
Back with ex-wife.
And then so when he came back into your life, did he tell you like, I'm not with my ex-wife again?
Well, so before they broke up again, I get a text from him, like after not hearing from him, saying like basically, my ex-wife and I got back together, but I'd really love to stay friends with you because I think you guys are so cool, whatever. And at that point, it wasn't like so deep in where I was like not open to it. I was like, okay, whatever, we can be friends. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll keep doing my thing, whatever, not a big deal. So, but then it was like just like this on and off thing of them kind of breaking up and getting back together. But yeah, it turned into, it was chaos. I compare it to like the Erewhon smoothie line at lunch hour. Like that's what our dynamic turned into, just kind of chaos.
But when he came back into your life, did he tell you he was not with the ex-wife anymore?
Yeah.
So he was playing both of you guys.
I think like
he's a player.
You think it's a player?
Yeah.
I feel like too,
he's a total douche.
Dating in LA, I feel like everyone wants to have their cake and eat it too also. You know what I mean?
Some people, yeah.
Yeah. I think
but not everyone.
No, not everyone.
And so we got to put it out there. And by the way, this douche, lives all the way in Hermosa Beach, which I don't even know exactly where that is. I know that it's really far away, right? South.
It is a distance. And it's so pretty there. It's a beach, It's so
okay,
pretty.
But so you are, and I cannot even picture you getting in your car and you're driving all the way to Hermosa Beach to make out with this dude who is on and off with his ex-wife.
When you say it out loud, it puts it into perspective.
Well, you wrote it yourself.
I know. And hearing it out loud now, I'm like,
what was I doing? I mean, listen, I've made all of these mistakes and more. Yeah. So believe me, hence the podcast.
But that's the thing, you know what? It's a great thing to reflect on.
Yes.
And hopefully people can connect with.
Yes.
Because, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not a robot. I'm not AI generated. This is what I was feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think we have to do things. We have to follow our heart. Yes. Because otherwise, how do we learn?
But don't follow it that far.
Don't follow it all the way to Hermosa.
No, don't. And then I remember last night, I was like, okay, so if you were doing that, the sex must have been like the best sex of your life.
Oh my gosh, but here's the thing. But listen, I feel like when it comes to when I care about someone, I will like take it to, I told you I have a poet's heart. So like I drove there because like for some reason I felt a connection. Like, have you ever been in a situation where you feel like there's just like a very deep connection and you like someone you could just be so yourself with, and it's kind of like that's what your heart's like chasing in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but usually, honestly, if I like when I was in a situationship, like I said, in my situationship case, the one that was going on for almost 2 years that I told you about, it was the best sex of my life. So I knew this guy is like bad news. He's not good for me. But at least I was having like insanely fabulous sex, so I kept justifying.
Where did he live?
Here, Beverly Hills.
Oh, he was a Beverly Hills guy. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the Valley guy for some reason.
No, the Valley guy, we never even had sex.
Should we just we'll just refer to guys as their locations.
Yeah. The Beverly Hills guy. The Beverly Hills
guy.
Trust dude. Yeah, I knew he's like, okay, this, because like I said, he didn't have a job. He's like partying, going to Barney's Beanery until 2 a.m. on a Sunday. And then we would go back to my place, have sex until 5, 6 a.m. And my dogs are waking me up at 6:15. And he can go back to his parents' mansion in Beverly Hills and sleep all day by the pool. And I have to work because I work my ass off. So I'm like, okay, this guy is not for me. But the sex was fantastic. However, yesterday when I asked you about your Hermosa dude, I said, so was this the best sex of your life? You're like, no.
I'm telling you, I have totally a poet's heart. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem.
God.
It's a poet's heart. But, I think at the end of the day, like I said, it's like a thing to reflect on and be like,
of course. We have to learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
And I hope now for sure that you deserve much better.
Yeah.
Correct?
For sure.
You're not going to let this douche back in your life, correct?
For sure.
Can you sign it in blood here,
oh
please?
my gosh. We'll sign it in wine.
And your sister's you're not going to let it happen either, right, Julia? She's, no, yeah. Yeah, she's not allowing this anymore. Yeah. Block him from your phone. Like, no. If you told me Cat with the sex is like out of this world, oh my God, be like, okay, maybe you moved on from this crap.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the geography situation, to finish the subject, because we have so much more to cover. Would you date a guy in the greater Los Angeles area again that is far from your house again?
I think it depends.
On the guy.
It depends. That's a gray area, right? It's not so black and white.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Although you did tell me, like, that was another crazy thing that you said, like, you went on a date. This guy was very, very high-end that you went on a date with. He wanted to take you to the San Vicente bungalows on a date, which, by the way, it's one of the most fabulous private clubs. Yeah. Everybody wants to go there. And you told him, that's a little far. Let's hang out in Beverly.
I did. I was so tired. I'm like, I just got my period. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I need to stay within like my little triangle.
Your little Beverly Hills triangle.
Yeah, the triangle, the golden triangle.
I cannot believe you did that. That's worse than me. I would have gone on a date there.
You know what it was too? I'm like, the thought of just driving there right now, even just getting in an
that is
Uber.
Not that bad. Just to put in perspective for people who are not in LA. So you're in Beverly Hills. San Vicente Bungalows is on the beach. So going there happy hour time, you're going against traffic. So maybe it would have been a 20-minute drive.
You're probably right. It probably been like not even 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
But it was Wally's that night. We stuck around
This guy
Wally's.
must have really, really, really liked you.
It's all just.
Oh my God. That's really
love
funny.
And lessons,
moving
right?
on, we have so many stories. We're going to have to do this episode in 2 parts. So moving on our week. So Monday we talked to this douche attorney at Wally's. It was dead. Like, there was nothing going on. So we decided to call it the night. We went home. Then Wednesday was a holiday. So I was out and about. I was on my way to a business meeting during the day. And I told you, funny enough, this is the only, speaking of insignificant people, I would not even have remembered that we're going to call him Mr. Socks.
Socks. Yeah, Mr. Socks.
I would not even have remembered that he exists. But as I'm parking my car to go to this meeting at the coffee shop that we love there on South Beverly near the Beverly Hills newsstand, I see this guy coming down the parking lot. So he was literally in front of my car. So I was in my car, but I'm like, holy shit, I don't want to see this man. And I put my sunglasses on.
Oh my gosh.
And he walked right by me. And then, thank God.
Did he see you?
Yeah. He was like literally, imagine like I'm driving and he was walking out like he was. And I'm like, I'm not going to say hi to this asshole. And I'll tell you guys why.
Mr. Socks.
Yeah, Mr. Socks. But then when I was sitting in my meeting at the coffee shop with 3 dudes, thank God, he walked by like totally lost. Like, didn't know who he was. At least he saw me in a meeting, like,
totally
boss
doing
lady, doing my thing with a
Yeah.
bunch of guys around me. So I looked good.
I love that. We love that.
But this guy, funny, and then that's why we decided to talk about him on this episode. The reason I remember him is because he was a guy that I went on a million dates with, and I hate when guys do that. Like, we went on a million different restaurants, wine and diner, and I didn't even like him. I was trying to forget my situationship.
Oh my God, he was just like
he was just like a filler.
Band-Aid.
Yeah. So finally, we spent New Year's Eve together, and everything sucked. We went back to his place. And we kind of started having sex, but we didn't really have sex because I was so hammered, so drunk. I was like, I want to go home and sleep with my dogs. Bye. Yeah, 3 a.m. So we went out one more time, and we ended up having sex at his place. And the reason why I remember it's because the sex was really lame, but he kept his socks on.
That's bizarre.
Oh my
That is
God.
like so bizarre to me. Like, did he just forget? Was he lazy?
How do you
Was he
forget?
drunk?
How do you forget?
I think actually it's a metaphor of why it didn't work for you. He was too lazy to take his socks off, and you wake up at 6 a.m. to go to work.
He was lazy. Yeah, it wasn't good sex, period. But I remember when I saw him at one point, like I was like, is this guy really wearing socks? Is he serious?
And you probably, like, after you saw him, did you ever see him again after that?
No, yeah. So I made up an excuse because I didn't want to spend the night. So I was like, I have to go home to my dogs.
Oh my gosh. The
Yeah.
dogs. When in doubt, blame the dogs.
Yeah, of course. The dogs were with the pet sitter. It was like, you know what? I think I need to go sleep at my place with my dogs. But I'm like, yeah, I think if you're that lazy to have sex with socks, like I never want to have sex with you again. But after that, he did show up I threw a fabulous birthday party that year. It was a while ago, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not a recent story. It was like a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
He showed up at my birthday party because I had all these great friends, but then I never saw him again. So he basically had sex with me and ghosted me. I didn't care about it,
Yeah.
but I think that's a very douchey thing to do.
Well, and I was talking to someone about ghosting today, and it seems like people ghost when they like either don't know really what to say, or they don't feel like they've been out with the person enough, or they're just like they're a total asshole that they don't know how to communicate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we were talking about that this week. I despise ghosts. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever ghosted anyone. If I'm going out with someone, even if it's a few dates, because I believe in karma.
Yeah.
I treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yeah.
I try to.
Yeah.
Even if I never want to see that person again. First of all, my first idea, which I put out there, I think everybody should do it, try to repurpose that person.
We were talking about repurposing.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too about ghosting? Sometimes I'm like, though, is it almost like nicer when someone ghosts you, because then you don't have the reason of why they don't want to talk to you anymore?
I don't
could
like
just-
it. I get very offended.
Okay, it's offensive,
Yeah.
but then I'm like, I could
It's
just
childish.
It is childish, but I'm also like, if they don't tell me why they don't want to see me anymore, then I could just come up with the reason myself. Like, oh, they must have just felt so in love with me that they don't want to talk to me anymore.
I like
it's
that.
Okay,
yeah,
you
it's
know?
okay. I'm too much for them. Yeah.
I know I'm too great for it. You know, what I mean?
I just think, like I said, if you never want to see someone again, text them like, this was great, but I'm not feeling it, or, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out of town, I'm going to be out of the country. But before you do that, like I said, what is repurposing? Look at that person and think like, can they be in my life in some other capacity? Like,
Yeah.
can they be a friend? Are they capable of being a good friend? Or can they be a client?
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
She repurposes them.
I try to transform these dudes into my clients for my
Yeah.
business, and it works. Like for my not the podcast, for my PR agency,
Yeah.
many of them have, not kidding you, like I think three of my clients have been my clients for many, many, many years, because we either started dating or situationship or never dated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I agree. I completely agree with you. We're a horrible match. Let's do business and make money together.
Yeah, why not, right?
Exactly.
Why not? I agree with that. A good repurposing always works. Or you repurpose them into like setting them up with someone else. Like I told you I wanted to set you up with someone I went out with.
Yeah, that
Like,
guy
why
seems very, honestly, he seems very interesting. I just don't want you to hurt his feelings because, obviously he liked you because he took you on 3 dates.
That's okay.
So be careful, like how you're going to put it.
Then I'm setting him up with my hot friend now. They
Oh,
should
you're
be
so
grateful.
sweet.
They should be grateful.
But yeah, so guys, before you ghost anyone, think about it. Like, how can this person have a purpose in my life? Don't be stupid, because many times a person is great for other things. But this Mr. Socks, after what he did, like you're having sex with your socks on, you show up at my birthday party, you leave, and then you never talk to me again. Like, douche. So you deserve to be talked about. And if you listen, you know who you are. Because, you're probably one of the few guys. I don't know. We should ask Sean, my sound engineer. Is it normal? It's not normal, right, Sean, that guys have sex with socks?
It's very 1970s.
Oh,
Very 1970s.
very 1970s.
I
Wow.
never, ever want to be in this situation ever again.
Well, and you know what's funny about ghosting is I think there's a time and place for ghosting. Like if you communicate with someone that you are just not into this and you're very forthright about it, but they don't get the hint
Yeah.
and they keep going, they keep pressing,
Yeah.
then you got to ghost them.
No, I agree if they're like creepy,
Yeah.
douchey, if they do something horrible. But I'm saying in general, if it's really just lack of chemistry or you guys don't have anything in common, but maybe you can become best friends, or like I said, maybe you can do business together, right? Why not? Like this guy that you that didn't take you to the San Vicente bungalows, seems like a lot of his business can help your business and vice versa.
Yeah. For sure.
You know,
For
so
sure.
and
Yeah, dating's also like just a form of like networking, I feel like,
Yeah.
with people, you know what I mean? And like, you never know.
exactly. So this was Wednesday, and then Thursday, which was yesterday, we decided to go out and about, and
Oh
we
my
were
God.
all over the place. And we drank wine in every. So I broke all my rules for you this week. I drank on Monday. I drank on Thursday. I drank like all
I
over
love it.
town.
I love it. That's okay
was-
that we started our week off right. And we ended it right. you
Yeah.
know?
So today's Friday, and we're curing a minor hangover. But so we started at the Peninsula Hotel.
Yeah.
The Peninsula Hotel is very old school, usually older people, but I love the vibe there.
It's always a good vibe there.
It's such a good vibe.
Such a good vibe. They have good drinks, good food.
It's so classy.
Yeah, and I never have any complaints about it. Like
Never.
It's just a great spot.
But interestingly enough, it was also kind of like on the chill side yesterday. Usually that
So
bar.
weird.
If you guys ever come to LA, if you are not from the LA area, we highly recommend you go there, right?
Yeah, no,
They have live
definitely.
music, great appetizers.
Yeah.
So this really nice dude, we only had one chair. This really nice dude was with a girl, and he said, "Hey, you girls can sit on my chair." So he gave me his chair, and you sat on my chair. Super polite.
Yeah.
So they were making out at the bar. Did you see them making out,
Oh
kissing?
my gosh, he was all over her.
Yeah,
He
like
was all
kissing
over
big
her.
time.
Yeah.
When she went to the bathroom, we're like, let's talk to this guy and ask about dating. So we start talking to him and asking about dating. And he's like, I'm not with this girl. He totally dismissed her.
It's wild.
I thought that was very rude.
But as soon as she came back, he was all over her again.
Exactly. It was just he was like, no, because we said, oh, you guys married? How long are you dating? He was like,
We're not dating.
I'm not dating her. I'm not with her.
He almost acted like he just met her. And I don't think that was the case at all.
That was not the case at all. No, he was like, we're just friends.
Ugh.
He was like, no, we're just friends. I would be so hurt,
So
if
hurt.
I went to the bathroom and the guy I'm making out with said that about me behind my back.
Well, and I think he did it because he obviously wants to keep his options open.
So rude.
So rude.
So rude.
And I think that's the kind of stuff that women are complaining about when it comes to dating in LA. Like that kind of stuff. But also, she didn't even know. You know what I mean? She didn't.
She did not know that he's like,
No. She went to the bathroom.
she went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I thought that, okay, douche. And I actually asked him, what do you think about dating in LA? He's like, same thing. A lot of guys say that.
They all
It's
said it.
too much work.
Yes.
A lot of phonies, right? Like, I don't have the patience for it. I don't want to do it. Interestingly enough, a lot of the guys we meet, they're like, yeah, I want to be in a relationship, but I don't really want to date. Like,
Yeah.
they're not, like, actively pursuing a relationship.
Well, and if they are, I think that it's the same thing. They want to keep their options open. It's such a vast city. There's so many people. They think there's always something. The grass is greener on the other side, you know?
This is what I think, my personal opinion. If somebody wants to keep their options open, they don't really want a relationship.
I agree.
They're not ready for it.
But they want someone
They're
consistent.
still playing around.
So that they're not alone. You know, I feel like a lot of people don't like being alone, especially in
Yeah.
a city like this.
Could
that
be.
they might want someone that's consistent, but they're not putting all their eggs in that basket.
Could be. But I do think, like, if a guy wants a relationship, he's going to date with intention. Like, I'm trying to find the person for me.
Yeah.
These dudes, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
They don't want to be in a relationship. Like you said, they want to maybe a hot date, maybe somebody dinner, maybe somebody, whatever. But I don't
Yeah.
think they really, really want to be in a relationship.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very common thing that people, and maybe that's why people complain about dating in cities, because I think that there's like a lack of communication on what people want.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time they're trying to force a situation with a person that doesn't actually want to fully commit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't want a relationship, like you said.
So tough.
They get stuck in this rut of playing these games, you know?
But interestingly enough, there were a lot of other guys at the peninsula, much older guys, but very nice, very classy guys. One of them talked to us, gave us French fries, and the other ones were staring at us the whole night. Like, okay, you want to talk to us? Come.
Yeah.
Too ashamed, too embarrassed. And then when we were leaving, they're like, oh, you guys are leaving. We want to say hi.
Oh, my gosh.
Why do men do that? Guys, if you want to say hi to women at bars, go say hi. Girls love that.
But I think it's your plunger theory.
The plunger theory.
They need like an icebreaker of some sort.
Yeah. The plunger theory is the following. If you guys didn't listen to the episode, it's one of the funniest episodes I ever did 2 years ago. My girlfriend said, because guys are so shy approaching women, if you walk around with a very bizarre object, of course, we went crazy. We were walking around with a plunger. Everybody's going to come and approach you and say hi. And that did work. If you watch the episode, every single bar we went to, like the entire bar would come and talk to us.
Yeah.
But I know most people don't have the balls to walk around
with a plunger.
The plunger.
Yeah.
But it can be something else less crazy. For example, it can be a little dog. Because a lot of guys will approach you, like if you have a little dog, like, oh, how cute.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, something else.
You should come up with like a whole thing for women to take to the bars or restaurants as icebreakers.
But for me, I will tell you what, I don't like shy men.
Yeah.
And I like men that have initiative and are going to come and talk.
Well, with your personality, you know what I mean? You're
so I wouldn't, like, if a guy is shy to begin with, like that he doesn't even have the confidence to say, hi, where your girl's from or what are you up to? If he doesn't say anything, it probably wouldn't be a match for me.
Yeah.
I like guys that, go and talk.
Yeah, they have that initiative.
Yeah. So we left the peninsula and we went to Dante.
That was really, everything was slow last night.
And it's weird. A gorgeous place in Beverly Hills.
Pretty.
Fabulous view on top of the, what's the name of the hotel?
Mayborn.
On top of the Mayborn. Fabulous first date place, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, if somebody took me there for a first date, I would be very happy because it's a super cute place. It was also very chill, very dead.
Everything felt very slow last night, and I wonder why that is. Is it like summer traveling?
I don't know.
It was Thursday?
I have no idea. But funny enough, one thing we noticed, we were sitting at the bar, having a glass of wine, talking to the bartenders, and all the tables were packed. And when we walk, like, let's say to go to the bathroom or something, the guys at the tables, even with the women next to them, like stare at us.
They were gawking.
Walking by.
They were gawking. Yes. And, like, that's how we got into talking about is staring, like, a form of, like, cheating in a way.
Because I asked you, like, if you were sitting with your guy at dinner and two girls walked by and your guy, like, stared at these girls, would you be pissed? And you were like, yeah, he wouldn't be my guy anymore.
I did. That's what I said. I'm, like, not about that at all.
So do you think, like, looking at beautiful people is... it's not cheating, right? But is like, disrespectful?
Well, I think it's disrespectful when you're, like, on a date and supposed to be present with someone else. You know what I mean?
You should be a little more discreet.
Yeah. Like, they were sitting right by them eating. And
the guy went literally with his eyes, like he followed us and a big smile.
Yeah. So I'm not about that at all.
I think, it would, to be completely honest, I wouldn't be that mad because if two super hot guys walked by, I wouldn't gawk, but I would look. I would stare, maybe smile, just because I like looking at beautiful people. Even if it was two beautiful girls.
Yeah.
Because I like looking at other beautiful girls. I'm not bisexual. I'm not a lesbian. Nothing like that. I'm just saying that when I see a girl dressed super nice or she's gorgeous, I'm like, wow, that girl looks... So I like... people watching and staring at people.
Yeah.
So I don't really see too much into it.
I think it depends on, like, the intent of it and your relationship with the person.
Yeah.
And if you can trust them. Because if it's someone that you don't trust as it is, you know what I mean? You
exactly.
See them staring.
I don't think you should be with someone you don't trust.
No. What a nightmare.
Yeah. Exactly. So if you're just looking, I would probably be okay with that. But a lot of the guys did that. Like, they stared at us.
Yeah.
After Dante, where do we go?
Sky Bar?
Oh, yeah. We went to the Sky Bar because there was, like, a small event there.
Yeah.
Sky Bar is also so beautiful. it was very chill again, not a lot of people like usual. And there was a dude there that started talking to you. Well, a really nice guy, by the way, bought us wine.
Yeah.
And by then we didn't even want to drink anymore.
Oh my gosh.
It was in so many glasses of wine for her, but he was nice enough. He was like going through a divorce and everything. Hey, I'll buy you girls a drink. Very gentleman. He texted me, by the way, last
Did
night.
he?
Yeah, he was like, where did you girls go? Where are you?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was getting divorced, right?
Yeah, he said he's still living in the same house and going through a divorce. And then he was like, Kat, I would love to see you again. I was like, as a friend.
See, repurposing.
Yeah, if you want to be my friend, that's okay. I would never, ever date some dude. My ex-boyfriend was going through a divorce, by the way, and it backfired on me. I'd never want to date a guy who doesn't have his business 1,000,000% done with.
Yeah, totally. Because that's a lot of baggage.
Yeah, I don't want to be in that mess.
It's a mess.
It's a
Especially
mess.
if there's kids involved.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, get your divorce done, la, 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 la. And then there was another dude there that was totally hammered and all over you. And you were like...
well, I told him at one point, I was like, you got to back up.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to back up. I'm sorry. Like...
Yeah, he was too drunk. He was too high and too drunk.
So gross.
Yeah. And then after the Sky Bar, if you guys believe that, we went to one more place, which is night and day, like total opposite of all the other places we went to. If you guys never heard of it, it's called Barney's Beanery.
Yeah.
It's a hole in the wall.
But it's like an iconic spot. It's been there forever.
Very iconic.
Yeah.
My Jesus. And then when Taylor Swift was here in LA, God knows why, she went to Barney's Beanery. So now people like it even more just because she was there.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely like a very like aesthetic thing people are into, right? Like the whole, but it's cool. It's like it's a bar. It's totally opposite of like the places we talk about, like the Peninsula, Dante, all that. It's like a totally different vibe, a totally different group of people. You know what I mean? But still like a wide age range. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah.
Like there were people that seemed like older, and then like 20s.
It's a mixed bag, very casual beer type bar. It has some pool tables in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like the food. It's like all greasy, all American food. And I don't drink beer. You don't drink beer either.
I don't drink beer. It makes me sick.
It makes me sick. But it's not a place to order wine. And we ordered wine. And the wine was...
Well, actually, we tried to order champagne. And they're like, we have sparkling wine.
Champagne, quote unquote.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I think that's what gave me the headache because it was super cheap sparkling wine.
That probably is what gave you the headache.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I you know, when you're drinking and you know it's very sugary and crap, and I don't know, that place is just not my vibe. And this guy that I was in a situationship with, that I was falling for him. Like I was really developing like major feelings for this guy. Like I was almost in love with him. Not just because of the sex, but I really liked him. And it's one of his favorite hangouts.
It's like definitely a spot, and I think it's because it's open so late too.
Open until 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's open late.
Most places in West Hollywood are open until 2 a.m., I think.
Like the bars and stuff.
Right, Sean? Sean probably knows better.
A lot of people, like, I mean, it's been there forever. Like Jim Morrison used to drink at the Barney's Beanery. So, like,
Really?
Yeah, it's an
Jim
iconic
Morrison.
spot.
Yeah.
Route 66.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know people love it. I'm just saying it's not my favorite. It's not my vibe. And maybe because I have, like I said, I have this bad memories because I'm like, I was dating this dude and, you know, we would stay out, like you said, until 2 a.m. until the freaking bar closed.
Yeah.
And I remember one day I went to the bathroom and I looked at myself in the mirror. I was drunk. It was Sunday night.
Yeah.
2 a.m. And I'm at the bar and I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, Catherine, what the fuck are you doing here? Are you crazy? You have a job, you have a business, you have shit to do, you pay your bills, you don't have a trust fund, you cannot sit by the pool all day. What is wrong with you? It was a wake-up call that I couldn't have that lifestyle.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But you know what's interesting? We were talking to some people there.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to find out too, like, you know, it's a different group of people, like their experience with dating. And some of the people I talked to, they were like in their 20s. And the
guys playing pool were in that, but they looked a lot older, by the way.
Too. I thought they were way older.
The guy that, like the Italian guy that you asked, when he said he was 20, I was like,
he was 22 or something, right?
Yeah, I was like, dude, you're in really bad shape.
I was shocked. I figured he was at least 30.
I thought he was more.
Me too, but like at least.
He looked really rough.
Yeah. But they were talking about how these guys were younger and they even had the same kind of like negative thought process about dating in
Yeah.
LA that some of these people have. They were saying like, well, the one guy, he lived in like the South Bay area, and he was talking about how he just felt like a lot of the girls were stuck up. It's just complicated, like
Yeah.
putting himself out there, I guess.
I know. It's funny because, yeah, all the guys we talked to in all of these places, not one said, oh my God, it's so much fun. And, I'm having a great time. I really want to meet someone. Everybody kind of complained that it's a shit show out
Shit
there.
show.
So the good news is it's not just girls that think this is a shit show.
No, I think it's
Guys
everyone.
think it's a
Everyone thinks it's a shit show.
Everyone thinks it's a shit
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
So, we're going to talk about our conclusions in a minute. So after Barney, luckily my ex situationship was not there.
Can you imagine
Thank
if you ran
goodness.
into him?
I would, I
What would you have done? Would you have like just walked right past him? Would you have said hello?
What would I have
left?
done? I don't know. I probably would have said hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Because I was a little drunk, very little tipsy. Were you? A little tipsy?
I started to feel it. That's
very
for sure.
little. Yeah. I wasn't like drunk.
No.
But I was hoping I wasn't gonna. I didn't want to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I don't want to see him. I'm trying to stand firm on my resolution of
Yeah.
not
Totally.
seeing him again. Because it definitely in the beginning we were dating, and then it just became booty calls.
Yeah.
And then
And
I'm
you
like,
don't
yeah,
need
no, I
that.
deserve so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
of
But I'm
course.
glad he wasn't there. So we decided to wrap up our night
Yeah.
at the Soho House, which is one of my favorite hangout spots here in LA. It was also very chill there.
Yeah, everywhere. I'm like, is there a holiday that I don't know about right now? Like, what is
There was a
going on?
holiday in the middle of the week, but I don't know if that affected
Yeah.
how people go out in LA in general.
I
But
wonder if it'll be busier tonight. It's Friday. I don't know.
we can try again.
I'm like, I'm still recovering.
I know, same. Yeah, like tonight is like water only. But we didn't talk to anybody. There was nobody there.
No. No, there really wasn't.
That was we ordered a wine and we didn't even finish the wine.
No.
It was very chill. No guys to talk about. And then we're like, okay, that's it. But in general, so what's the conclusion? I think it's tough for everybody. Nobody's saying that dating is like paradise.
Yeah. I think that everyone has a very similar outlook on it.
Yeah.
And it seems that, I mean, even the Uber driver that we talked to between one of our spots, what did he say again? I forget. He was saying, like, it's just too complicated.
It's too complicated. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The Uber driver had an accent and he was like, no, I'm from LA. I'm not from anywhere else. But he
Yeah.
was from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I'm from here.
Totally.
And then he said he doesn't want to date because, yeah, it's too complicated and he can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
So guys are super jaded as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do? My conclusion, this is my conclusion, and I know a lot of people don't want to agree with me. Like I said, it's your mindset.
Yeah.
Because you can say whatever you want about LA. And like I said, if you talk to the girls in Miami, they complain. You talk to the girls in New York, you complain. And I have a friend that lives in Canada. And Canada, there's tons and tons of men. And she's like, yeah, but they all suck because they're all
Yeah.
shitty. I think you need to go about the dating life, like the dating world, with an open mind. If you want to find a relationship,
Yeah.
just think like, you know what? The right person for me is out there looking for me as much as I'm trying to find them.
Totally. Totally.
Otherwise, yeah, if you decide everybody sucks, yeah. Everybody's going to suck.
That's what's going to happen.
But it was a really fun experiment being out and about with you.
Yeah. So fun. So,
So
fun.
fun.
It was definitely an experiment.
And I think just from doing all of this, and you told me you're like casually dating someone, we're not going to say anything about it, but I really hope that continues to go really well for you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Because you deserve
right?
a prince.
Aw, you're so
No
sweet.
matter what, I know you're not going to let this douche on the first episode of your paper come back into your life.
I know. It's so funny. Like, I don't know. It's an eye-opening experience dating, you know? It's a lesson. Love and
Everything
lessons.
is a lesson,
Yeah,
right? And then,
totally.
like I said, we try not to make the same mistakes again. When are you putting the next episode of Love, Sex, LA out?
The next one will be out a week from today, so next Friday.
Oh my God, that's so
know,
exciting.
I know, so
How
get
can
ready.
people find it?
So it's at the Beverly Hills newsstand, and I will also put out a link for like the digital version of it.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to share that link because it's so cute.
Thank you.
And it's like so touching stories because like we were saying, so many people, I think every single person in the world has good and bad stories, right?
Yeah.
Good people that go through their life and bad people that go through their life. And, you know, just take it with a grain of salt. I think at the end of the day, we should all be respectful of each other. Like I said,
Yeah.
don't ghost, be nice to people, treat people the way you
Yeah.
want to be treated.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure this goes for everything. And this has to go back, I guess, to like just dating in such a big city. I'm sure, like, in my situation, that person wasn't a fit for me, but he's going to be a fit for someone else. And like the same goes for me. You know what I mean? Like, that's
You
what-
know, this guy that you were dating, what do you call him on the paper? Storm?
The storm.
The Storm. The Storm.
The storm.
I have a hunch he's a player, and I don't think he probably told his wife, ex-wife, about you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, so
I'm
I feel
curious.
bad for her.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
he's, you know, he's a douche. He doesn't know what he wants. And you're
Crazy.
gorgeous. You're so talented. You're so successful.
you.
You deserve someone so much
Oh my
better.
gosh, you're so nice.
It was such an honor hanging out with you.
So much
It
fun.
was so much fun.
So much fun.
Congratulations on everything you do. You're always welcome to do another episode because I
Yay.
hope we're going to hang out again.
Oh my gosh, of course.
And tell people where they find you on Insta if anybody wants to follow you. Though I'm going to put all the links on the episode if they're listening
yeah.
and they want to find you.
So my personal Instagram is Alexandria_Rizik. And then LoveSexLA is just all one word, LoveSexLA.
And I love it. Love Sex LA. It's kind of like a Sex and the City
Totally.
in LA.
Exactly.
So we're definitely gonna do more adventures and bring you guys
Yes.
our conclusions. But I think for me, honestly, what I always like to say is never give up on love.
No, you can't give up on love.
Exactly. Because some people get so tired, they're like, oh, I give up. Never give up.
No.
Keep going because the right person
yeah.
for you is out there trying to find you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for
Thank
doing
you.
this, Alex.
Was so
It was,
fun.
and now we're friends.
I know. So much fun. Now we'll
Don't
go-
date in Hermosa Beach.
Oh,
Put your ratio like.
and you can't date in the valley.
Exactly. I don't want the valley. I want to find somebody like, you know, our standards get higher and higher and
Yeah.
higher. It's
Oh
tough.
my gosh.
But we will get everything we deserve.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you believe it.
Exactly. If you believe it, you get it. Thank you so much,
Exactly.
guys. Be safe out there, and I'll see you again very soon. Alex Rizik, congratulations
Thank
on all your success.
you.
You're amazing.
You're the best.